Why has 2025 been such a crazy year for Americans where they're just tapped out and can't do it anymore? They're piling debt upon debt, and it is just keep on going and going and going, and people just cannot get a break. And in this video, we're going to look at some of the causes and some of the people that actually occurred so much debt that is actually insane. And so we're going to kick this video off with a woman basically showing us how much debt she has, and she's actually bringing the receipts. So she's actually showing us how many credit cards she has open, how much debt she has, and we're going to see all those statements. And it is mind-blowing. This is not clickbait. This is absolute reality. And if you're not from the United States, if you're from Switzerland or somebody in Europe, I highly doubt that they're going to allow you to take out that much debt, because in Switzerland, when I once asked for a credit limit increase when I was working, and I had a credit limit of $4,000 because that's exactly how much I was making every month, and I asked them for 2 grand more, they said, "Oh, we got to put a 5,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 security deposit against your account to give you a temporary limit increase." And so let's watch this lady basically talk about how much debt she has and what is going on with her.
As much as I wish this was a skit, unfortunately, it really is my real life. We have 10 open credit cards, $130,000 in credit card debt, and this is the page that I've dedicated to journaling, paying all of that off.
So like I said, this woman is bringing the receipts. So let's look at how this kind of stacks up.
I am $129,299 in credit card debt. No, unfortunately, this is not a joke. This is actually my real life and a bunch of poor decisions that came together. I wanted to start documenting my journey of getting out of this debt just in case it could help anybody else. So these are my credit cards, my husband's credit cards, and the total of $129,299 in credit card debt. Now, we also have a car loan. This doesn't include that. And a couple student loans doesn't include that. This is strictly credit cards, which looking back, like how in the world did they approve me for this? Like, I'm not saying it's their fault. It's definitely mine and my poor decisions, but damn. I'm going to be documenting the whole journey of paying off this $130,000 in credit card debt. I'll break down exactly what our expenses are, how much we make, and the whole process of paying this off and how long it takes me.
So now my question to you is, do you think she's exception to the rule, or you think she's the rule? And I think there's more Americans like this that are just tacking up and just keep on tacking on debt rather than thinking about, maybe this isn't going in the right direction. The good thing, though, about her situation is that she has a huge amount of income. So she's making, and her husband, about $150,000. I do not know if this is gross or net, but they're making some really good money, so they can probably pay that all off. And the crazy part is, though, when you're looking at $150,000 they're making, and when you're looking at the $130,000 they're in debt, if their family members or somebody said, "I'm going to pay your rent and everything else," they literally have to work for 1 year just to get caught up on all these credit cards. And this is just something that is mind boggling. And I think a lot of Americans in this time, especially when you lose your job, you're starting to put stuff on credit cards. And so if you have been watching my channel for a little while and you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. That would really help out my channel. And so when I talk about credit card debt, I talk about debt that you're in. I think everybody can do it. I think everybody can become financially secure and can live the life that they designed themselves and that they're trying to go. It's just going to be sacrifices. And I did a video yesterday and people have been like, yeah, everybody can become rich. And I think that is absolutely true. I think in Switzerland, you're not that fortunate, but I think in the United States, you can still really make it. You just have to really put your head down, live below your means, and then kind of go out and try and do it. And then you can then become successful. But what is really crucial about you becoming financially secure is that you have to live frugally, and you have to use your income almost like soldiers, where you have to deploy it in a way that is going to make you a return. That the way that you're not just going to hand somebody money and say, invest it for me, so you know where the money goes. And the financial trap that is luring everywhere is nice cars, nice apartments. It's like the new car smell. Come on in, 0% financing. And oh, you can do it today. It's just 275 a month. And oh, you want a new boat? It's only 199 a month. You want a nice RV with a truck? It's $500 a month. No worry, you don't need to make payment this year. We're just going to start making a payment next year's. And you're seeing that all advertised across the field where they're saying, "Oh, no payments for 90 days, no payments here. You can do whatever, and we'll take care of the first two payments. So you're not gonna have a payment for 6 months." And all of a sudden, you forget about it, and then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, now it's time to pay up, and you forgot about it, and then you're in the debt trap where you taking out a loan for this, you taking out a loan for that, and then it's gonna really, really suck. And so let's watch this other person that's basically talking about what she did because she financed a car and now she's really, really regretting her choice. And I think a lot of people did the same thing. And now she's like, man, actually, what I thought today was important wasn't so good after a few years. And she's like, man, why did I do that? And my future self is not going to be thankful for my today self what I've done. So let's watch this.
I am a 48-year-old spoiled brat. I said it, I've come to terms with it. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and I started sharing our journey in March, where I had confessed to my husband that we were in over $55,000 worth of credit card debt that he knew nothing about. And all along, since I was 18 and could get a credit card, I have never been good with money, with finances in general. I swipe the card and say, "We'll pay it later," like it was free money. And that's just been a toxic cycle, like I said, ever since I was a child or, 18. But listen, I can blame my parents or my growing up, my childhood never being taught. I can blame not learning all this stuff in school. But let's be honest, I'm an adult and I know exactly what I need to do to get things right. And I need to stop being a spoiled brat and decide that, what's more important? What are my financial goals? Well, we have been able to pay our credit card debt down to a little over 8,300, which is great. We are pre-approved for a mortgage. So that's something in our goals. And I have made great strides. I no longer online gamble, which was a huge part of our credit card debt. I do not impulse shop as much as I used to. I can say sometimes I do give in, but it's very rare. And so I just wanted to say it. I wanted to say it out loud that I am a 48-year-old spoiled brat who needed to get it together. And I feel like now sharing our journey has helped me stay accountable and has helped me realize the truth.
So now let's think about this. So this lady's basically been 48 years old and she came to terms of, this is not a good idea for me. This is not how life's supposed to be. I need to make better financial decisions. And if I wouldn't have shopped with credit cards all the time and not taken out loans, and I said, oh, I can make the payment, so let's not worry about it, she'd be at a way, way greater future, or she would have a different life than she'd have today when she would start in her 20s. And so if you're in your 20s and 30s, it is so absolutely important that you set yourself up for success. You need to look at the finances. You need to see what's coming in, what's going out, and how are you coping with it. And I'm not talking about, oh, you can't go to Starbucks, you can't do this, or you can't do that because it costs a few dollars. No, I'm talking about big ticket items because that's where people, like car payments or something else, that's where people mess up. That's where people, it's not the Starbucks coffee that's going to be your downfall. No, it's going to be that car that you're going to buy, you think you need, and it's going to be $20,000 over asking price that you shouldn't have paid for. It's a credit card debt that's just piling up, this $130,000 worth of debt that you should not have gotten into. And we do not know how that kind of happened. And so, in order for you to become financially secure and you become wealthy is, for me, it was quite simple. You stop the going out, you don't do drugs, and you just kind of work. You find something that you kind of like doing, and then you just figure out what's working, and then you repeat it. And you repeat, you repeat, you repeat, you repeat. You basically become a master at it. And for me, that has been in real estate where we do manufactured homes, and we're just gonna buy, repeat, and re-rinse the cycle. And that's how a lot of people should do the same thing. People should go out and find something that they can rinse that and repeat, that they can basically come up with a formula and then just kind of, okay, look at the formula and say, this is what you're gonna do. And one of the problems is that when you're gonna start doing that, there's gonna be downfalls, there's gonna be pitfalls, you're gonna lose money on it, and it's gonna be a valuable life lessons. And that's why I said some of these lessons you're gonna learn are way more important than the dollar amount. Because when something happens and you're like, oh man, this is costing me $2,000, $3,000, and this was a mistake, it's not necessarily that the $2,000, $3,000 is going to be bad. No, it's going to that you learn. You're going to look at it. Okay, this is not going to burn me next time. So if you're in construction or you're something that's like, man, I should have tested this more, or I should have asked better questions, or I should have done that. And all of a sudden, you become more aware, you become more fluid, and you're becoming more financially aware because you know how to ask the right question and become a master of your trade. And this doesn't mean you need to go into entrepreneurship. No, this can mean that you can just do something on the side. You can do trading. You could do whatever you know most about, right? You don't have to go out and do renovations on houses. You don't have to flip mobile homes. You don't have to do Section 8 or buy and sell cars. No, you probably have an expertise in something that you can sell that the world is looking for, some skills. And if you do not have any of these skills, then it is time for you to basically go out and gain some skills that you're passionate about, because they're always looking for mechanics. They're always looking for people that are going to do repairs. They're always looking for electrician, plumbers, everything else. There's even people that are looking for manufacturing. So you need to make sure that you're going to get into a line of work that you can pick up hours or something, and then you will be fine in the long run. But try to become a master at it so you can then not be ending up in a financial disaster, because this is what my content's kind of all about. I don't want you at 48 realizing, ooh, I should have bought a house 10, 15 years ago with my bad decisions, and now I'm kind of stuck. And so this is how to prevent that. You don't want to be 56-year-old calling Dave Ramsey and being like, man, they let me go when I was 20, 30. I did some bad mistakes when I was unemployed, and I taken out a bunch of loans and a bunch of debt. Because one thing I can tell you is taking out the debt's the easy part. Repaying it's the hard part. Anybody will get you a loan. If you want a new car today and you got some money down, or you don't even need money down, if you got real pay stubs, you can walk into any dealership right now and they'll probably give you a loan, because they're trying to move the metal. They don't care how you're going to make the payment. They don't care about you defaulting in a few months or in 2 years. No, they just need to move it today, and then they'll worry about the rest later. So make sure that you're not going to live that instant gratification life, because that will really come and haunt you. And I've seen a lot of comments in my videos that people are like, oh, that instant gratification caught me up and now I'm 15, 20, $30,000 in debt. And when you're making 40, 50, $60,000, it is detrimental. It is really, really going to hurt you when you're 20, $30,000 in debt, because that's almost a 20%, 30% of your income after taxes are paid and everything else. So make sure that you know what you get yourself into. Don't buy too big of a car, because so people always say it's the shiny objects that will get you. It is now the time, like, ooh, you got a promotion, so it is time to upgrade the car. All of a sudden comes to find out wasn't so smart, because now you're making less money than you did before with your promotion with a huge car payment. And now car payments are absolutely crazy. When you're looking at it and you're looking at 40, 50, $60,000 cars, those payments are crazy. I saw a car was advertised, I think a truck, and the payment was, I think I saw it online, was like $2,000 a month. And I was like, man, that is like a house payment. If you're thinking about it, you're paying the same amount on a truck as you are on a house. And then you drive it off the lot and it just devalued 10, 15, 20%. Then if the car market's going down some more, another 10, 50% is gone. And all of a sudden you're looking at $20,000, $30,000 just out the window, because you did impulse purchases. So make sure that if you're gonna get into something, you know that you can afford it and you know you have an exit strategy. And yeah, you gotta stay away from these predatory lending places because they'll just come after you. And yeah, this was kind of it for this video. I was walking today. Say hi, Allie. I was walking with Allie, Tara, and myself. So we've been at this park. You know, I like this park a lot. And so, yeah, we walked the circle 20 minutes, walking with Calvin out in the sun a little bit. And yeah, make sure you stay financially literate and keep up reading on trends, seeing what's going on in the market. And that's a huge part of becoming wealthy, to make sure that I'm not going to be left holding the bag, because dealerships love to sell you stuff and so does everybody else. And yeah, when you're going to get into an insane amount of debt, digging yourself out of it will take you way, way longer than getting into it. So make sure you know what you get yourself into. But yeah, for my viewers, this is Las Vegas, and this is why I literally moved here. There is no clouds in the sky, and it's raining where I'm from, and it's cold in Switzerland, and now here it is just warm. I'm actually sweating. And so yeah, this was a nice little day. So let me know what you guys think about all that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.